I know nothing. Nothing.
Okay, this one's really good. Security at Donald Trump's White House. This is just crazy. It had to happen. He puts these totally incompetent boobs into his cabinet, and they just do really stupid things. Okay. Attack on the Houthis in Yemen. Kind of a big deal, you know, a lot of aircraft involved and missiles involved and so on like that. Well, it just so happens that the cabinet, and I can't remember how many people were in the cabinet were on this messaging app that was going on. But there was a messaging app called Signal, and it's an encrypted app, and I'll talk about that a little bit later. This app was being used by the entire cabinet to discuss this upcoming attack. I mean, this attack had not happened yet. They were discussing assorted things. There's some political crap about how Europe's so terrible and everything, but they were discussing this on this app. They inadvertently, a couple of days before, or a few days before, got this, I think it's Jeffrey Goldberg, I think. I'm not too good on names, so. Of the Atlantic. They included him in the app. Now, he's not, you know, this guy's, I don't know if he's got a classified rating or not, but he's not supposed to be there. And he thought people were just spoofing him or something. He didn't think it was real. And then all this information started coming through his messages. And so he's looking at this stuff, and they're talking about operational details. And this is all text. Okay, so the reason I knew this is that Pete Hegseth, the Secretary of Defense, had texted me the war plan at 11:44 a.m. The plan included precise information about weapons, packages, targets, and timing. This is before this thing happened now. What I will say, in order to illustrate the shocking recklessness of this Signal conversation, is that Hegseth post contained operational details of forthcoming strikes on Yemen, including information about targets, weapons the U.S. would be deploying, and attack sequencing. This is putting real live people, pilots and aircraft, at risk. Here's another one I'll put up there. And it's talking about fully share the loathing of European freeloading. It's pathetic, you know, and the only ones on the planet that could do it is us. And the president was clear, green light. Soon make it clear to Egypt and Europe that we expect what we expect in return. I guess they want to get paid for it or something. I don't know. That's crap. They included this reporter in this, and they didn't even know they had. They don't seem to like the reporter anyway. So, but they're including this guy in this thing, and there were operational details. He did not release any of this stuff, but there was, you know, the attack plans were there, all the weapons, talked about all of them before this thing happened on a stupid app, not secure. Communication authorized by the federal government in an app that you can just put on your phone. Now it's a pretty good secure app, but you can't do that. You can't even use your phone. These guys are using their phones. We've known this forever, that they can hack those phones. I looked up some stuff on Signal, and they said it's pretty good. It's pretty secure. End-to-end security. Only the end person can read the information. But here's the problem. Device security matters. Signal security relies on the safety of your phone or device. If your device is compromised, say by malware or physical access, That's not going to protect you. You're going to, if you can read it, someone who has hacked your phone can read it. Now, do you really think that out of all the phones that these guys are running in Trump's oh so secure administration, you really think those phones are secure? If you don't think that Russia or China or both did not read all those messages that were going out, I got a bridge for sale. They're doing it all the time. They're pushing this stuff all the time. So it doesn't make any difference that it's a secure app if your phone is not secure. Well, okay, this started blowing up. And so they went to Trump and asked him about it. And I'll put that video on.
President, your reaction to the story in The Atlantic that said that some of your top cabinet officials and aides had been discussing very sensitive material through Signal and included an Atlantic reporter for that. What is your response to that?
I don't know anything about it.
I know nothing. Nothing.
This is pretty obvious how Trump always reacts to this kind of stuff. He's, I know nothing, he attacked the reporter. That's about all he did is attack the reporter in The Atlantic. And, but you see, I just know nothing about it. He, of course, knew about it. He was informed about it. He's done this so many times before, it's just obvious. He'll weasel out of this one, I'm sure he will. He'll probably throw somebody under the bus here pretty soon, because this is actually pretty big. Now, Pete Hegseth was also asked about it. He's in Hawaii.
How your information about war plans against the Houthis in Yemen was shared with a journalist in The Atlantic, and were those details classified?
You're talking about a deceitful and highly discredited so-called journalist who's...
Those details shared on Signal, and how did you learn that a journalist was privy to the targets, the types of weapons used?
I've heard I was characterized. Nobody was texting war plans, and that's all I have to say about that. Thank you.
All he can do is attack this reporter. I guess that's what Trump told him to do, is just attack the reporter. No operational plans were released. Yeah, they were. All the operational plans were released. So, yeah, he's an incompetent dingbat. He's probably pretty good on Fox News as being shiny and making a bunch of noise. He's a major in the military. He's just not qualified. That's all there is to it. Okay. Then Dana Bash is talking to the, oh God, I can't remember the organization. I'm not very good at this stuff, but I'll put this video up.
Secretary Rubio was part of all of these conversations. First of all, why was the cabinet secretaries and the National Security Cabinet discussing a potential military operation on Signal, which is a public app, and why didn't they notice a phone number that was not part of their group? And how concerned is the secretary about the implications of this?
Well, I have two very short things to say to you. First is that we will not comment on the secretary's deliberative conversations. And secondly, that you should contact the White House.
I know nothing. Nothing.
I know nothing again. I'm not going to say anything about anything because I don't want to know. The Secretary of State knows nothing. Okay. Let's go back and look at a golden oldie.
Become the president of the United States. Now, think of this. We're in a cyber world. This is a cyber world. This is a very complex, we're in a world like we've never been in before. If we're in a cyber world and she can't even handle her emails, how can she be president? And we're being hacked all over the place by Russia, by China, probably. I mean, to the best of everyone's knowledge, it seems to be. But listen to this. So we're in a cyber world, and she's playing around with servers and emails. How can she be running this country?
You know, boy, that Hillary, she was just freaking sloppy. She should be going to jail over that. Who knows how many people read that stuff? Yeah, she should go to jail. And then she could meet up with Donald Trump right there because he's responsible for this one. Remember, now he's going to throw somebody under the bus, and he'll come out smelling like a rose. He always does. He's pretty good at that. Anyway, that's it on this one.